Fights to make after UFC 288. Hello and welcome to Bloodsport MMA.
Salam alaikum. Walaikum salam.
UFC 288 was a very entertaining night, very successful night for the UFC, and now we have to play matchmaker. So we will look into the, let's say, most famous winners and losers and try to match them up with a very good and sensible opponent. So let's start with the and still. We can make this quick. Aljamain Sterling will fight Sugar Sean O'Malley approximately August something in Boston, Dana said. So that is already done. Then we have the loser of the main event. It's not clear if he stays in the game, if he retires again, whatever. But let's assume he stays. Let's assume he continues to fight for the UFC. And I have two scenarios here. Cejudo needs to decide now, will he stay at 135 and try to get a title again, or will he go up to 145 and do what he wanted to do, which is challenge Volkanovski? I personally believe he should stay 135 because I don't see him beating Volkanovski, but I know he wants to do that. So let's assume he wants to stay 135. There's a perfect matchup for him. Merab Dvalishvili. Because Merab has no opponent. Yes, he's injured and they talked about Umar, but Umar makes no sense for Merab, that fight. I talked already about that, I have a video about that, watch it on the channel. But that's a perfect matchup. I mean, Merab is the #1 contender, so he's only waiting for Cejudo, for Aljamain versus Sugar. Because after the Aljamain Sugar fight, Aljamain will go to 145. He said it already. So that means after August, probably let's say end of the year, Merab will fight for the title either way, if he doesn't fight until then. But Merab is not the type of guy to wait until the end of the year. But he should not fight a Corey Sandhagen or somebody like that, in my opinion. He should fight Henry Cejudo. That would be an amazing matchup, wrestler versus wrestler, even though Henry doesn't wrestle too much in his fights, but that would be an amazing matchup. Two more or less short guys, very interesting styles. It's a dream fight. Like, I would love to watch that, and of course, if you don't like the wrestling, you'll probably not like it too much, but this would be a phenomenal fight in my opinion. If he moves up to 145, there's a matchup where I believe he won't really have too many chances, but it will be a very fun one and the most reasonable one for both, which is Max Blessed Holloway. Because Max Holloway is in a similar situation like Merab, where he is the clear #1 contender, can't fight for the title, but needs to fight someone. Exact same like Merab. And Cejudo makes a lot of sense. Cejudo is new, fresh blood. Max hasn't faced him yet. I mean, if Max faces the Korean Zombie, which he wanted to, he could, of course, but he's behind the rankings, and Cejudo moving up will all like immediately be top 5, kind of, you know what I mean? So that would be an amazing win for Max Holloway. I know he likes legacy wins, so that would be perfect. For Cejudo, will be one of a lifetime challenge. I mean, probably the hardest fight for him at 145 because of the reach advantage and the size advantage. But it would be very, very, very fun to see two phenomenal mixed martial artists sharing the cage together. So if he moves up to 145, that's the fight. And the other factor is, if he beats Holloway, he's in for a title again. If he beats Merab, he's in for a title again. And that's what he wants. He's here for titles. So it makes a lot of sense for Triple C. For Mr. Gilbert Burns, I have a very fun matchup in mind. So Belal is already waiting for the title, so we don't have to book Belal anymore, right? Burns, who lost the main event, co-main event unfortunately, and lost me some money as well. Burns will probably chill now for a little bit and relax, heal up, because he fought 3 times in 5 months. But I have the perfect matchup. Honestly, perfect matchup. UFC needs to sign me, goddammit. He fights the winner of Jack Della Maddalena versus Sean Brady. Jack Della Maddalena is a rising star. Sean Brady got beaten by Belal, but was also kind of a rising star. He was undefeated before the fight. He's still ranked in the top 10. Jack Della Maddalena tries to enter the top 10, and Burns is on number 4 or something. So, and Brady on number 7, something like that. So if Jack Della Maddalena beats Brady, he's on number 6 or 7 as well, takes the spot of Brady. And if Brady wins, he stays in the spot. And Burns obviously can't fight forward if he just lost to a guy behind him. He lost to Belal, who was ranked behind him, so now he has to fight backwards. And that's the perfect matchup because They are going to fight, I think, in June or something. So Burns has time to heal up. Whoever wins that fight can fight Burns. Let's say, for example, Abu Dhabi in October. It will be a perfect fight against Jack Della Maddalena. Will be a phenomenal, fun matchup against Brady. I think he beats Brady, but it will still be a very fun matchup to see. Kind of a wrestler against a grappler striker again. That would be a very fun matchup, honestly, both fights. But of course, I would favor Jack Della Maddalena versus Gilbert Burns. That would be a banger of a fight. Let's switch to the lightweights. Drew Dober fought steamroller Frevola. Let's start with the winner, Frevola. So Dober was ranked in the top 15, I think number 14 or something like that, which means that steamroller now takes his place. So he's now ranked in the top 15, right? And will now fight forward. I think he's on a 3-5 winning streak or something, so he deserves it. And most of the lightweights in front of him are booked. But I have a matchup in mind, and it is Damir Ismagulov. Because Ismagulov is maybe not the most name value you can get, but Ismagulov against Featherweight will be a very fun matchup because Ismagulov is a phenomenal striker. Ismagulov had a very tough and close fight against Arman Tsarukyan, who in my opinion is a future champ and who is taking over the top 10 right now. And he also had a very fun fight against Guram Kutateladze, which is, in my opinion, one of the best strikers at 155, if you just look at Muay Thai. So this would be a fun striking match for Frevola again. It would be banger for the fans, banger for the fighters, and I think it would end in a finish. So that would be a very fun fight that I would love to see, and I think it also makes a lot of sense for Frevola. Otherwise, there is Arman there who he could fight, but I just don't believe Frevola at this moment is too competitive against Arman. But hey, why not? Frevola got hands, but I would favor Ismagulov versus Frevola. Ismagulov is ranked number 12 or something, so that would be a step up for Frevola. Perfect fight. For the loser of this matchup, Drew Dober, who was previously ranked, probably now will be back in the rankings like 16, 17, whatever. He obviously can't fight a top 15 guy right now. I would love to see him against Joel Alvarez. Joel Alvarez fought Arman Tsarukyan last, if I remember that right, last year somewhere, and got beat up pretty badly by Arman. But he's a phenomenal striker, he's a phenomenal prospect. He was really, until he got beat by Arman, he was a guy that people were like, hey, you have to watch this guy. This guy is a problem in the future. And I still believe he has the talent to be a problem. And Drew Dober is a banger. Joel Alvarez likes to bang. Let them bang.
Let me bang, I man. Do let you bang. Hey. Let me bang again, man.
The featherweight fight. Movsar Evloev versus Lopez. Evloev won the decision pretty close though, and it was a very surprising performance of Lopez. He showed that he's a dog and that he's the guy, man. He's the guy, because Evloev is a very tough fighter. So I would say, because there was another dominant win by Evloev, he should fight Bryce Mitchell again. He was scheduled to fight Bryce Mitchell, then Lopez stepped in short notice because of the injury of Bryce Mitchell. Let Bryce heal up, let Evloev heal up. I think he has got some injuries as well after these submission attempts. And then make that fight again. I think stylistically it's a perfect fight, a very fun fight. They talk shit about each other online. It makes all the sense in the world. Book it. For Lopez, who made his UFC debut against a number whatever ranked guy in Evloev, which is crazy, and fought a crazy fight and showed he's the man, I have a great fight for him. Charles Jourdain, who also fought on the same card and won a decision against Kron Gracie. Charles Jourdain is not ranked. Of course, Lopez is not ranked, but they're both on the verge to getting ranked, like on the edge of the top 15, because Lopez just lost a close decision against the number 10 or something, you know what I mean? And Jourdain just beat a kind of, not a legend, but coming from a legend family, Kron Gracie. So why not? Both guys just fought, so they will be ready at the same time probably. They both didn't take too much damage, definitely not Jourdain, and both were exciting fighters. Then, for the last matchup of the day, guys, we have the winner of the light heavyweight bout. One guy that I really, since his UFC debut, like a lot and I'm a fan of. It's Kennedy Nzechukwu. Kennedy won by second round. Did he submit him? My brain doesn't work anymore. He definitely finished him. Yeah, I think he submitted him. And Kennedy's on a 3-5 winning streak right now. In my opinion, Kennedy's such an exciting fighter. He's one of the most exciting fighters on the roster. If you see Kennedy fight, either he or his opponent goes to sleep. Guaranteed. Let him get a top 15 fight. And I would say the best fight would be Dustin Jacoby, but Dustin Jacoby is booked. He will fight this weekend. If Dustin Jacoby wins, make this fight. This is a perfect fight. Two stand-up guys, two experienced guys. Like this will be a lot of fun, really a lot of fun. If Dustin Jacoby loses, I believe he won't be ranked anymore, and Cejudo deserves a ranked guy. Let him fight Khalil Roundtree Jr., who just beat Jacoby. Let him fight Khalil Roundtree Jr., also a kickboxer, also a guy that can grapple, just like in Cejudo, and a lot of fun for us fans. Definitely, maybe not so fun for the guy who loses that fight, but that will be an amazing matchup. These are my fights to make after UFC 288 for the winners and losers there. Write your dream fights in the comments for all these fighters. Like this video, guys, subscribe to this channel, and most importantly, that you can be matchmaker in the UFC one day. Eat your vegetables. Until next time, guys, bye-bye. Plus for that.